Just got to the gym. Today is an upper body training program for me. I've actually just had a look at my program and I'm meant to be using the Sling Shot today, and I haven't got a Sling Shot that fits me. So we just tried using some bands to see how that would feel, and that's obviously going to be much more difficult because it's loading at the opposite as what a Sling Shot would do. So we discussed hanging the bands from the top of the actual squat rack and doing a bench press that way, but I'm really pressed for time today. So I am probably just going to add in a second chest movement just for this week, and then next week I'll have a Sling Shot ready for my training because that loads the top of your bench press. But to start off with, I've got 2 sets of 2 reps at a weight, I think it's at 145 I'm going to start with, and if I can increase and go heavier then that's awesome. And then I'll pick another second chest exercise, and then I'll carry on with all of my accessory movements for today. So stick around, let's see how I go with the weights, and hopefully you can apply some of these training techniques and exercises to your own program. So something that I've been finding super useful is to carry like my own collars, because all the gyms that I've trained at, they're either missing collars or they don't match, or they've lost their actual ability to collar anything, which is dangerous, especially when you're lifting heavier weights. So yeah, you can order these online. These are Rogue collars that I've got here, the plastic ones. Yeah, it just means that I am always assured that I'm going to have something to hold the weights on the bar when I'm lifting. The other thing that I always use when I'm training is my wrist wraps. These are iron tanks. They look after both Lane and I with all of our lifting accessories, so our belts, knee wraps, obviously wrist wraps and things like this, shoes as well, which is really important for powerlifting. So yeah, this just supports my wrists when I'm starting to lift a little heavier. I used to find I would get quite sore in through my carpals, so yeah, this just ensures that you can get a really good grip on the bar, and you're not damaging any of the joints or the muscles around your wrist. I haven't got a lifting singlet on today, and the bench is really slippery, and just in my warm-up sets the weight's not even heavy yet. I can feel myself like sliding back on the bench, so I'm just going to get some chalk, this stuff, and just cover my clothes so I don't keep slipping around.
Press.
I'm just doing singles. I don't want to like overdo it. And then I'll probably do one more lift after this, and that'll be my working set for a double. I used to lift so much more. I think now I just have to actually like pause and like hold it.
Pause makes a huge difference.
Makes such a difference. Like I just used to rep out 155. I'd be like, yeah, I'm really strong. Clearly not.
My favorite is when people are like, oh, I'll pause on meet day, it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, you gotta practice doing that.
Press. Excellent. Wow, that was smooth. Good job. Sorry, I probably fucked you up. I put my hand out there.
And you started talking as well.
Sorry. So a lot of people don't realize that powerlifting is not about finding out who's the strongest. It's about finding out who the best powerlifter is. And we were just talking about a press command, how much of a difference a press command makes. Well, on bench press, you actually have 3 commands in the USAPL. You have a start, so once you unrack, you hold it motionless and you wait for a start command. Once you get the start command, then you can bring it down to your chest. You'll get a press command. And then when you finish, when you're here, you get a rack command. Like on squat, you'll get a start, you squat down, come up, and then you have to wait for a rack command. I cannot tell you the number of people I have seen squat, state, national, I've even seen world records get red lighted because people squatted it, came up with it, and weren't thinking and started to rack it before the judge gave them the rack command. And there's no mercy. They will give you 3 red lights for that 100% of the time. So a lot of people say, well, that's stupid. They squatted the weight. Yeah, but again, it's rules of performance. I'm sure there were some rules in track and field that
But you can't run out of your lane. There've been like, I don't know, in the Olympics, like someone will run a track, like in the relay, for
and they
example.
might just barely step over, not even meaning to.
Yeah, their foot is like outside the lane when they're changing the baton, for instance. Relay is really common, it happens all the time. But even for like a regular, like a 200-meter race or a 100-meter race, like if you're outside your lanes, they can disqualify you. So it's happened before. So I guess it's the same thing. All sports have like rules.
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
you've got,
follow them.
Yeah, you have to execute the lift to a high degree of skill, but you also have to remain in control of the lift and able to take commands. And I can't tell you how many people will get real fired up, and when people make fun of the way I lift because I get fired up, but I do it that way because that's exactly how I lift on meet day. And so that's not abnormal for me. You'll see a lot of people who will lift very calm in the gym, and then they'll try to amp themselves up, and then they can't follow commands. I actually remember at Nationals in 2015, I came out, and before the head referee will give you the start command on squat, they're waiting for the 2 side referees to say to do this, and then the head referee will give you a start command. So I walked out my squat, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. It's probably 2 seconds or something like that. But I hear the left judge over here say left knee, and I just completely locked out my left knee, and then I got the squat command. So he was waiting for me to do it. If I hadn't been in control and able to listen and take commands, if I'd been too, overwhelmed by the situation, I would never have heard that. I would have missed my opening lift. So it's very important to practice these commands. I practice them over and over and over. Even on, every squat session, you'll see me, when I come up, I don't just start to come in immediately. I'll hold it for a second and then I'll come in.
I'm gonna get Lane to actually practice telling me to lift, telling me to press, telling me to rack.
So it's a double, so I'll give you the start command on the first rep.
Yeah.
Press command on the first rep. Then I won't give you a start command on the second.
Yeah, okay.
Then I'll give you this press command on the second. I'll give you the rack command after the second.
Yeah, all right.
Start. Press. Press. Rack. Jump.
That was really, really hard actually. I think I set up a little unevenly. You'll notice when I brought the bar down, I actually touched unevenly, and it put me off when I was doing the press. So it was very slow, definitely a grinder. That was definitely an RP 10 for today. But I feel like out of all of my lifts, my bench press has been the most stagnant. I haven't felt like I've gained any significant amount of strength. So I think a lot of it has to do with just having to change my technique entirely, really focus on getting a pause in, and yeah, it makes such a big difference, as Lane was saying. So I'm not sure what I'll be able to do on meet day. Obviously I'm going to keep working at this and practicing my technique, and hopefully things will start to make progress. And my calories are starting to come back up now as well, so I've been dieting for a fair majority of the last 2 months. So when I was lifting, my calories were quite low, so it'll be interesting to see whether I feel like that makes a difference to my strength. Up next, instead of doing the Sling Shot, I'm going to do some floor pressing. It was meant to be a 2 set of 2 reps, so another really heavy load, low rep set. So I'm going to keep the reps fairly low. I'll do some 5s, probably 2 sets of 5 floor presses, just regular tempo. So that was my warm-up. So I think I'm gonna go for my first set at 55. I have done 60s, but not straight after a really heavy double.
Come on, come on.
That bench is really even. I've now got a 3-point row next. This is X, basically means I've got to lift it as quickly or as aggressively as I can. It's like a power movement. So single second eccentric, single second concentric, pulling up and then pausing for 2 seconds. Totally can feel lip sweat.
The club can't even handle me right now.
I've got to do biceps and triceps.
See you watching me, I go all out.
Just for his enjoyment. This is like, what are those, what do you say, like biceps?
Biceps and tries.
What do they do? I literally have just bicep and tricep exercise of choice to finish. So I'm going to do a just regular dumbbell curl, and then I'm going to do some single arm reverse tricep extensions just to get the canteen lady arms.
Handle me right now, you watching me.
Eight to 10 reps. I'm not trying to get endurance in my arms or anything like that. This is just for strength for my powerlifting accessories and such. So yeah, I'm gonna do triceps. Obviously, that's really important for your bench pressing. Biceps, gotta have strong arms. Gotta do things with them. Single arm, reverse, cable tricep. I feel so silly doing arms. That is a wrap. So that was today's upper body training session. So obviously hitting my bench press today, that was my primary focus, and I think I did okay, to be honest. Bench press has been, as I said earlier, like lagging a little bit, and then everything else is just accessory, with the goal of somehow improving those big compound lifts that I'm doing. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this. If you like these kind of videos, please subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and I can continue to actually do more of this if this is something that you find useful or you just enjoy watching. So Also, feel free to head over to my website. I have a heap of information about my coaching programs, durations, and lots of different services, articles about nutrition and training as well. So I'll put the link up on the screen for you so you can head over and check that out. Thanks again, and have a great day, guys.